I'm gonna just edit cause I'll put the video right here, and then this is the audio. And the audio, I put it on this one just cause it's clearer. Cause it has the mic on it. But that's it, bro. Damn. All right, we're back. 100 Podcast is the 18th episode. I brought in actually one of my high school coaches, Brian Gleeson. And he's one of my friends now. Definitely a cool guy. And I wanted to talk to him about a couple rumors from high school, but we're going to start it. We're going to start it because what we got going now, it's the quarantine life we got going. So I just want to ask you, what do you think about Corona? Like, what do you think about the virus? And what, are you doing any preparation with your family? Like, how do you feel? Like, are you scared about it? Are you nervous? You just kind of think it's something that's going to blow over?
Definitely in the beginning, you thought that everyone's just blowing this up out of proportion. It was like, a couple cases here, and I know, it can extrapolate that way. But then, like I said, I saw a video and it was explaining why we're trying to shut this down right away. And it makes sense that we're trying to take those extreme measures. Everything seems to be extreme right now.
Yeah.
But we need to slow this thing down, which I get what they're doing, but are a lot of people freaking out about it? Yeah, I believe they're freaking out about it. But there needs to be, but we do need to be aware
it's serious,
of it.
Obviously.
It's serious, it's serious. But we need to be aware of it. But the whole fighting people over toilet paper and paper towels.
It's a little ridiculous, I think.
It's pretty ridiculous. So,
you're
going to... Yeah, it kind of sucks. Everyone's like, oh, you get days off, you don't have to go to work. I'm like, that's boring, man. What are you gonna do? It's like, you can go. Let's go to the movies. Let's go to lunch. Let's go to dinner. Nah,
can't do anything. Yeah, no gym, nothing. The parks are closed now. I think all the parks. I know in La Quinta all the parks I think are closed. I haven't checked the actual La Quinta park, but I checked La Quinta and Cove. That one was closed. So I don't know.
La Quinta park's closed. It's all fenced off. They put up a fence around it. They put caution around it. And then I went to go work out there a couple times at that little gym they put in.
That little blue gym.
Yeah, they fenced that off too. So it's like.
It's like nothing.
It's like, it's like, all right, well, what road am I going to go run on? What floor am I going to do push-ups on? So
how do you feel about the estimates are they were saying up to 50% of the California population was going to get it. They think up to 50% is going to get the coronavirus. And they're obviously saying more than 50% of the homeless population. Do you think that's going to happen? Like, because I know you can get it through basically, obviously, germs on a table, or you can get it just from breathing. But I think that's a crazy estimate.
That is a crazy number. 50% of the population. So that means what 40. There's 40 million people in California?
Like 20
So 20 million are supposed to get this?
It's kind of crazy.
Like, how do you figure those numbers? Just because of the way mathematics?
I don't know. Yeah.
If 20 million people get this, what's the healthcare going to be like? How can they recover from it? How can they find healthcare? There's only like 714 hospitals in California. I heard that today.
So how's that going to fit 20 million people?
Yeah, how they going to treat 20 million people? Obviously, not going to be at the same time, but it's like one group comes in, here comes the next group, and then I don't know.
Yeah.
This is weird. But the funny thing is, I saw a video on the people that are wearing masks, and even if I'm contagious, I'm the one that should be wearing the mask. If I have it, I'm the one that should be wearing it.
Yeah.
If you don't have it,
why would you
don't have to wear it.
Yeah.
But because even if you have that mask on, you can still get it from me. The mask on me is going to prevent me from spitting stuff out, talking and whatnot. But if you have it, it's not going to help you. It doesn't. You can still get it, and that's what That's comes a part of being educated on certain things. The whole mass hysteria. People like, oh, glove up, and I get it. But it's like the same thing. I know it's a lot more contagious than the flu, but it's like it's flu season. What are you supposed to do during flu season?
Are we all gonna glove up and all gonna rock the face mask?
Yeah, you got is that a new look?
Yeah, I know.
Wash your hands, take care of yourself. Take precautions, be aware of it. Just
normal hygiene, it's the same thing. Viruses are gonna come and go, and I don't know. I don't think it's gonna get as bad as people think it's gonna get. Hopefully, obviously.
If they're saying 20 million people, half the population, but if we're doing these huge steps to stop this because we're being quarantined, everyone stay at home. The funny thing is, though, everyone stay at home, I'm driving on the freeway, I'm driving on the streets.
Everybody's driving, right?
It's the same traffic.
Yeah,
I know.
Where are you guys going,
It's
bro?
not empty streets like New York.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, really? I was like, damn, I got California. Okay, here's the other thing. You got California freaking out.
Yeah.
All these Californians freaking out. Oh, blah, 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 blah. But how many are staying home?
Nobody really.
California, let's freak out. But then all of a sudden it's like, nah, I need to go get some takeout. Let's go get it real quick.
Yeah, I just ate the habit today, bro. I just ate the habit today. Trying to pass the corona around, dude. I know. I don't get it. I don't get it. The United States population, like, I don't think we really, I think just from social media and just from seeing shit every day, you know, you see like the news, it just, every day you see something happening. So you see the coronavirus and you're like, whatever, you know, like you just live your normal life. That's not good. I don't think that's good that we kind of don't give a fuck, you know, like most Californians are just kind of like, I'm going to live my life and it is what it is. But we'll see, man. We'll
Did
see.
you watch those videos, though? The spring breakers in Florida?
Dude.
They're like, we don't care. We're just trying to get drunk. If
one of you gets it, bro. 30,000 motherfuckers got that.
It was funny because I watched a video. They're like, dude, we've had this plan forever. Let's call it, you know, the Chad and Brads. You know, they talk about like on Barstool Sports, the Chad and Brads from like college. Like, we've had this plan forever. It's been like 2 months. I was like, forever? 2 months? Really?
Come on. Yeah.
Did mom and dad pay for that spring break trip anyways?
Exactly.
Like, okay, cool.
Exactly.
But yeah, everyone's out there still at the beach and just having a grand old time in Florida. I was like, all right, well, if that gets over there, then
that makes sense. It would be the people in Florida doing that shit, you know. Those people are a little wild over there. They're a little sideways. So the corona, I don't know, man. I think it's bad. I think it can definitely be a serious pandemic because I just saw New York today, and today's what, the
March
20th? Yeah, it went up like 500 cases in a day. So, but that's New York City though, so that's obviously gonna go up. I think a lot quicker. Than like, well, the Valley maybe might go up a lot, like pretty fast just because the old population, but just how squeezed in New York, it makes sense that it would go up. Like LA, I'm sure if somebody gets it, if a couple people get it over there, man, that's just gonna fly.
Yeah, it's what the population that's the worst to have an effect on them is what, the 65 and older.
Yeah,
because it didn't even show. I don't think any cases for any of the younger kids.
Young kids aren't even really getting it. And if they get it, if they actually get the virus, they don't even show any symptoms.
Well, that's the other thing. How many people are testing positive? All these athletes and teams and whatnot.
A lot of them.
But they're test positive, but they don't even. They're asymptomatic, meaning they're not showing any signs of it.
Yeah.
So what happens? I mean, like, so how many other people have this, or
is
it really that bad if they have it, but they're not having signs or symptoms?
I think it's not bad for anybody under that age group, you know, anybody under 65 or anybody that doesn't really have an underlying health condition, you know. I think it's not really that bad. Like, people our age aren't really getting it. People your age, all the way down to my age, all the way to younger, even like infants, even if they're getting it, they're not even getting symptoms. So it's just kind of a weird disease. It's
like,
weird.
You still got to take the course, the 14-day quarantine, if you still.
Yeah, because you can still pass it. Yeah, you can still pass it along.
But what happens if for 14 days you have the virus, but you don't show symptoms? What happens?
I don't know. That's just.
Does that mean it wasn't you were just a badass, or?
I don't know. It's not. I can't even explain it. I'm not the doctor.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like there's just different. There's so many different views you can go on it, and so many different angles. It's just.
Yeah, we'll see. We're definitely, I've talked about it with a few friends, like, we're definitely living through history right now, you know? Like, this will definitely be talked about years from now. Yeah. This is a weird time that we haven't lived through in a while. Something like this in a while, I feel like. Not this serious, because I don't remember Ebola, I don't remember H1N1 or swine flu or any of that locking down any cities or any states, for that matter. Or countries. Italy's, like, on lockdown, so yeah, I don't know. We'll see where it goes. This is,
Well, I heard that Italy didn't shut down their flights in. When we shut down all those flights coming in from China,
we
shut it all down. Yeah, we shut it all down, and they didn't. So that's why they got a lot of it back over there. I heard that today. But then again, it's the news, so you don't.
And I also heard their average population age is older. So their average age over there in Italy, it's Italy, right? Is older. So. They're obviously, if they get it, it's not a good thing. Yeah. But yeah, so I don't know. I just wanted to go into Corona just to start it because this is what we're dealing with. We just got yesterday the stay-at-home order. You know, you can, kind of go do what you got to do, and kind of you can still go work. It's not even anything really. You can still go run.
Essential workers or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
Go outside, stay around your neighborhood.
Yeah.
But for everyone saying like, oh, you're lucky to stay home.
I don't even
It's
feel
boring. It's boring.
It sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel the same way. The gym, man. The gym's my life.
The gym. You got the gym. You got parks. You got.
I got my
life.
I was down to one kid during the day. Now I got two during the day. You know. Oh man, but yeah. So let's go into you, dude. I want to start with the two rumors that I heard, and I'm sure a lot of La Quinta people heard, is that you were the first varsity starting quarterback at La Quinta High School, and secondly, you were the first guy to throw a no-hitter at La Quinta High School. So I don't know if those are true, but those are rumors that have been passed along for years. So are you gonna like let the truth out for us people wondering, us La Quinta people?
It's true.
Oh,
So I was the first. I don't like to talk about it. I mean, because it's everyone, like when you get kids that come and ask you, like when they're in your class or they're on the football team or whatever the case is, it's like it's not. I try to tell them, I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I play it off. But then when they continue to ask me, I was like, it's not about me right now. It's about you guys. It's about the future. So I don't talk about that. But it's true. I mean, I was the first quarterback. I quarterbacked the very first varsity game at La Quinta High School.
That's legit.
We won, but then I actually kind of split time with Jeremiah Anderson. So he started the next game.
Really?
And then after that, I was the starting quarterback. He started the next game, so I was starter after that. After the second.
Did you guys lose that second game?
I really don't remember.
Oh, okay.
I really don't remember.
I was gonna say that would make sense why they threw you right back in.
I honestly I don't know. And then after that, I was starting quarterback, and then ended up breaking my ankle.
Really?
And then he took over after that. Yeah, I broke my ankle my junior year against Coachella. It always got brought up. Coach Armstrong would always bring it up in the banquets. In the banquets, he was the first quarterback. Yeah, and all of a sudden, Hey, you want to know another interesting stat? I don't know if I should say this, but I'm the only one to lose player and coach. I lost a game against Coachella. The game I broke my ankle. I lost to Coachella as a player, and I lost to Coachella as a coach.
And you're the only person.
I'm the only person that can say that.
Really? That's a great stat.
No.
Oh man. But you broke your ankle. What quarter? Do you know what quarter?
It was the end of the game. It was the fourth quarter. Man. We were getting ready to score. We had just actually we ran a quarterback sweep left. And Jeremiah Anderson was the running back at that time because our starting tailback hurt his ankle. I think he hurt it the week before against Indio. Shout out to Roberto de Asalantado. But he actually, so Jeremiah Anderson went and was leading around the corner, and I reverse pivoted and opened up, and our corner, our receiver was stalking the corner. Mm-hmm. He had him locked in. He was engaged, and Jeremiah Anderson went to go double help that. Rather than turning and looking inside and
looking for a linebacker or somebody.
Not even a safety came.
Oh, okay.
And so I thought he was going to go get the safety. Then he veered off to go get the corner. And so if he just gets in the way, he doesn't have to block the guy. If he just gets in his way, I walk into the end zone. It's on the 5-yard line. I walk into the end zone. The safety tackled me at the 5. So coach calls timeout. We're gonna run the same play the other way to the right. And he tells the lineman, he's like, "Do not pull. Don't pull." I'm like, all right, whatever, cool. We're going to walk in. We're going to win the game. We're going to go to the playoffs.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, break the huddle. And little did I know, I'll tell you. So I reverse pivot, same play the other way. As soon as I reverse pivot, blitzing backer comes through. Tackles me, rolls right on my ankle, snap. Ball comes out. They scoop and score 90 yards.
And they win the game.
And they won. Well, they were already up. They were up.
So
already.
that just finished it. That just shut you guys
it was just
down.
the end of the game. And so and when I got tackled, I didn't know it was broken. I was just like, I was being a little baby on the field. Just the ball. They just scored, and I was like, the doctor was looking at me, and I was like, just tape it back up. Just tape it up. And I was like, he's like, if you can walk on it, I'll tape it. I stood up. I took one step, and I was like, nope. Sat back down. I don't even know what happened the rest of the game, but come to find out the next day, one of my best friends, Brendan Riley, was the right tackle at the time. And Marcos Rios was my right guard. After he broke the huddle from the timeout, Marcos goes to Brendan, "Hey, I'm going to pull." Even though coach has said we're not pulling, this is when kids don't want to listen. And Brendan's like, "All right, cool. I'll block down like I'm supposed to pick it up, and because you're pulling."
And the guy went right through the
so
gap.
So he blocked down. He either picked up the blitz, I don't know. I'm sorry. So it could have been the backer or the defensive tackle.
Well, one guy was left open.
So he picked up one guy. The other guy came free. And all because that guard pulled and because coach he didn't want to listen to coach.
And there you go. Broke your quarterback's ankle.
Yeah, broke my ankle. My season was
When were you the starting? Was your first year at varsity? Was that junior year? Was that your first starting?
That was my first time ever playing quarterback.
Really?
I never played quarterback.
What did you play growing up?
I was because I was bigger. I was a center. My first year ever playing football, I was a center.
No way.
Yep. And then I moved to the offensive line. Well, actually no. Then I played. And I told my coach because it was flag football. I told coach I want to try out for tight end, and he didn't believe me. He was like, "All right, whatever, go for it." And I'm just running around snatching the ball out of the air because I could catch.
Yeah.
So they moved me to tight end. They found someone else to play center. And then when I came to, so that was like what 8th grade year, and then freshman year, went to guard, back to guard, and played linebacker, and then moved out here and played tight end. And then one day, we used to have intercession at La Quinta High School, where it was like a semester. Then you had 30 days of an intercession. And if you passed all your classes in the first semester, you got to pick a bunch of electives, like 3 electives. So it was 2 hours. It was like regular, like a block day.
Uh-huh.
So you got to pick what classes you wanted. So first period for 2 hours was football, was weight training.
Yeah.
Second period for me was like cooking for chocoholics.
Just something, yeah.
That was actually the name of the class.
Really?
So you had to cook chocolate.
That's a legit class.
That was my sophomore year because it was going to.
So that was during just a 30-day period. Those
30-day period. So, but that 30 days was you could make up a class if you failed it.
Makes sense. Okay.
So those who passed all your classes, you were like, all right, you get to relax and do whatever you want. Have electives for 30 days. Yeah. So it's first and second period because it was block day was weight training. Third and fourth period was cooking for chocoholics. Fifth and sixth period was basketball. That's when we had our basketball practice.
Oh my god! You played basketball too? Did you play? How many sports did you play?
Freshman, sophomore year, 4.
Jesus.
So.
And then your junior and your senior, you played 3?
I only did 3, yeah.
And you played, what was that, basketball, baseball, football?
Football, basketball, baseball, yeah.
Wow.
So, but anyway, so during that intercession time, one of our quarterbacks, we had Jeremiah Anderson. So this is sophomore year. So Jeremiah Anderson was our quarterback. And so we were on the JV. And then there's Pablo. What's Pablo? I don't remember Pablo's last name. So one of them was absent. I forgot which one it was. And so after we did our weight training, we went inside the gym and we ran routes. I think it was raining outside. We ran routes perpendicular to the basketball court.
Uh-huh.
So coach is like, "Hey, who could throw?" I was like, "I'll throw it, whatever." And so we're running slants. They're running slants, and I'm taking the 3-step drop. I don't even know what I'm doing, but I'm trying to throw the ball as hard as I can.
Just firing it in there?
I'm just chucking it. It's bouncing off their chest. It's like boom, boom. It was like, I was just having fun. I didn't think anything of it. Yeah. After that little intercession practice that we had, Coach Armstrong comes up to me and is like, "You're playing quarterback next year." And I laughed.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm not joking. Because you're playing quarterback next year. And I was like, oh, shit.
Oh, you just went from...
And I had never played quarterback before.
Yeah, now you're the leader. Now you went from like nobody to leader.
Cool, I guess I got to figure some stuff out.
Yeah. You got to figure out all that footwork. You got to figure out all those periods, 3-step, 5-step.
I was like, what's going on? I was like,
know where the corners at, know where the safeties are at.
Never done it before. Now I'm gonna be thrown into it.
You gotta know everybody's position. Like you gotta know.
Yeah, I wish if I would have known now what I know back then, it'd been so much easier. But like I said, I've never done it before.
Yeah.
So that's how I became a quarterback at La Quinta High School.
Just from one rainy day.
Rainy day, intercession, winging the ball, trying to hurt people with it.
That sounds like a lot of people, you know. It just like in one random day, it happened.
It just happened. So.
And then what about baseball? How were you left? Are you lefty or righty? Righty. And then you're just a savage on the mound.
I wouldn't say I couldn't. You know what? Honestly, I've never been clocked before, so I don't know how hard I threw. I'm gonna assume mid-80s.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know on a good day, but I can just. One of my good friends, Joe Perez, he was like, dude, he goes, you don't throw hard, but you hit your spots. You know, I don't know if
you don't keep it in the middle.
Yeah. It's like, you know where the catcher, you just hit your spots. You just know where to pitch it.
Yeah.
And I guess that was my.
Yeah, you hit those corners.
Hit the spots,
yeah.
You know, you don't waste pitch, whatever the case is. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't overthrow. I mean, we had a 2-man rotation my senior year.
Really?
Yeah, Daniel Reyes would pitch Tuesdays. pretty much throw complete games, and I'd pitch Fridays, and we pretty much throw complete games.
And
everyone else was just relievers. He'd pitch Tuesdays, I'd pitch Fridays because our game was
every week.
Fridays.
Yeah.
Every week.
That's wild, man.
Set it up.
That's wild. I was like, oh, don't come in here. Don't come in. This is on. This podcast is on.
But, yeah, so that was that. But the no-hitter is
Did
true
you,
as well.
that's crazy.
But here's the thing. We won two. We beat C. Everyone was always going to, it's going to be, like, they were talking about, it was only against CV.
But this is way back.
This is way back then.
Yeah.
So
when you guys just started.
I threw a no-hitter, and we won 2-1.
Really?
My shortstop made 3 errors.
Wow. And they scored even.
They
scored.
even scored
Because
he made 2 errors in the 6th inning.
So right when you guys are about to finish that game out.
So it was like he made 2 errors and it made him advance.
No hitter, but not even a shutout.
Yeah.
You didn't even throw a shutout, but you got a no hitter.
Correct.
Wow, that's interesting.
So
you still got the W. That's all that matters, really.
We still won. I mean, we won the game. It was 2-1. Everyone was like, oh, but it was against CV. It was like, no offense to CV, but they had a guy get drafted out of that class. Same year as me.
Oh, really?
He got drafted by the Chicago. Was it the White Sox at that time? He was a hell of a shortstop.
What did you do after high school? Did you go play ball in college?
I didn't right away.
Really?
I went to COD. I was just kind of burned out playing the 4 sports. Your freshman, sophomore year.
Yeah.
And then
you're like, I just need a break. I need to kind of chill out for a little bit.
Senior year, I was just like, I'm just done.
Uh-huh.
And then I took a couple years off while I was at COD, just taking random classes. Didn't talk to a counselor. I didn't know what I was doing. Been working full time, going to school full time, and then finally one day I was just like, I just miss football. And then just started training for football again, and just played a couple years at COD. Could have went on a couple schools afterwards, but I didn't.
What did you play at COD?
Receiver and punt returner.
Really? Damn, so you moved all the way from a center, to a quarterback, and then all the way to a receiver.
Yeah.
So you're from.
And I never returned punts before, ever in my life.
And you were.
And then it was like, I could catch the ball, and they knew I was reliable. I'm not gonna make anyone miss.
Yeah, you're gonna get your 10 yards, you get your 15 yards, whatever.
Maybe 5 yards, maybe.
Yeah,
but they knew I wasn't gonna drop the ball.
Exactly.
So I was like, all right, so
consistent.
But they had so my athletic freshman year at COD, we had Josh Salas. He went to Palm Desert.
Okay, I don't know who that is.
Josh Salas, he's a stud.
Okay.
Stud football player. And he ended up going to Palomar, I think, a year, then came back to COD. But that guy could play some football. So they had him returning punts. But he was stud. I thought, he had that Palm Desert La Quinta rivalry. And every time we played against him, or you'd see him, and it was like you just hated Palm Desert.
Yeah.
Because you're just that's what it was. Like it's not like that anymore. At least for me. And I was just like, this guy is just naturally talented. He doesn't work, blah, blah, blah. That son of a bitch worked his butt off.
And you had to see
it
at
practice,
COD?
At practice, every drill, dude, he would go full speed. And I was like, damn, this guy is legit. This guy's legit. And he's probably one of the better football players I've ever played with.
And I've kind of seen that. I've seen even like football or even baseball, for example. I've seen a lot of guys that like take it to the next level. They almost started later. Like they didn't get burnt out. Like they were almost like still enjoyed the game once they got to college. Once they got to college, they're still like it's still new to them almost. They're still learning. And for a lot of guys that like started younger, that played travel ball, that played year round sports, like I think they get burnt out. And then by the time you're in college, it's like you don't even want to do it anymore.
Well, here's the thing: you talk about that specialization. You get the kids, you get the parents. They see you're good at one sport and like, all right, you're just going to play this.
And that sucks.
And that sucks because then once you're playing that sport year round, just throwing baseball out there. Not picking on baseball.
But baseball's like the main travel
so it's like,
year round
all right,
sport.
let's play year round. And all of a sudden you get these kids playing year round baseball from the time they're, 6, 7, 8 years old. Because parents think more is better. This is my ticket out, whatever the case is. No, you're going to have more injuries.
Yeah.
You get the overuse injuries, like the Freddie Fu syndrome.
Exactly.
The throwing. You throw it. It's like, I train while I practice. No, you don't. You have to prepare your body for a season. If you play year-round, that's when you're going to have those injuries. And then you got the kids that get burned out.
Mm-hmm. I think I was definitely one of those kids because I even played travel ball out here in the valley, in the Coachella Valley, and I lived in Blythe. So 3 to 4 days a week, I was driving from Blythe out here to the valley for practice, dude. For practice, for games, for tournaments. Like, I didn't even have a life. I was living.
You know how many studs have come out of Blythe without having to do that?
There's some studs out there, huh? There's some
nothing
athletes.
else to do, so you just go play. You just go run around and play.
There's some athletes, and if there's no scouts ever make that trip, man, there's athletes out there. Yeah. It's a small little town. It's nothing
to do
there.
Go play sports.
Exactly. Play basketball outside. Go play some football in the street. No matter
how hot it is.
Whatever. Yeah.
Like, just go do it.
That is just where it's at. But yeah, so what are you doing now? Where are you at? What are you coaching? What you got
going? We're not coaching anything right now because of the
coronavirus. Yeah, for real, man. I don't even, and you're probably not going to coach the rest of the year.
It's just, yeah.
You're kind of out for the year.
I mean, so technically I'm coaching at La Quinta High School, football, and helping out with track this year. But it's just, I mean, we were having a great off season with our football team. I mean, kids were buying in. They were showing up daily. They were putting in the work. There was just little things. They were paying attention to the little things that I would talk about, that we would talk about as a staff, and we were moving in the right direction. You know, they were just buying in. And when you get teams that buy in to what you're doing, that's when you're successful. It doesn't matter how talented you are. We've had teams that haven't been talented, and we won games. We had teams that are super talented, but they didn't buy in. They want to do their own thing. We lost. So they were buying in, and it's a situation that sucks right now.
Are you a coordinator? Are you offensive coordinator over there?
No. I'm Coach Ribness is the OC. He's also the head coach. So I'm coaching receivers this year. Hopefully we have a season. So I was coaching receivers this year. And Coach Reese was our defensive coordinator last year, but Coach Benjamin is supposed to take over the defense this year. Coach Reese has a son that's playing in Iowa. So he wants to take more time to travel back there and watch his kid and not have to break down the film. I mean, because it's a taxing job, man. I mean,
what is it like as a high school coach? I don't think many people even know what it's really like to be a high school coach. They think you're out there just for practice, and then you go home, and then you're at the games, and you know it's like
it's not like that at all.
You're in Little League baseball or something. It's not even anything near that.
I mean, we're breaking down film. We're breaking down practice film. We're trying to scheme.
You guys have practice film now? You guys are doing recording practices? Really?
Yeah, so it's just like you gotta we used to do that all the time at COD. At the college level, they're always watching film because you do 1-on-1, 7-on-7, half line drill, whatever the case is. But it's just there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. Then it just happens on 7 o'clock on a Friday night.
Yeah.
And so and that was the thing that this past year we went 1-9. And people were thinking, we're not doing this, we're not doing that. We exhausted all options for everything this year.
You guys went 1-9?
What the fuck? I probably should have said that.
Yeah, I didn't even know that.
We had the injury plague, man.
You said 20 plus guys.
Whatever it was. I don't even know what it was. It was like we, as a coaching staff, we had to sit back and laugh. Like, because, you know, obviously it's serious. I mean, it's like, but at the same time, it's like, they come a certain part of the year, it's like, what else is going to happen next? Yeah. And guess what would happen? Something else
like, what are we really going to get mad about now?
You know? All right, another guy got hurt? Okay.
That sounds
all right,
new.
Who's next? Yeah. Who's next up? It's like, it was bad.
I'm sure it can't get any worse than this. And then it gets a little bit worse.
Yeah, you know? So then that's when you had to laugh. You're like, really?
Yeah.
Really? It was like, all right, well, let's do this. Let's go to war. Let's go to war on Friday night with what we got, and people wouldn't think that we tried to figure it out, which we did. We racked our brains.
You're like, it's not.
And it's like,
some years it just doesn't work, man. Some seasons.
It's like, wow. It's just I remember Coach Armstrong saying one time, a few years back, he goes, when you're just getting drilled by a team and you're looking at a play card, they got your play sheet. All right, well, it's good. Nothing pops out at you. But when you're dialed in, you're like, oh, this is going to work. This is going to work. You're looking at something like, nah, that was not going to no, that was not going to work either. And you're like, what's next? It's like, because that's just one of those years. It's just, that's how it is. I'm like, all right, they're stacking the box. They got 9 in the box. Just throw the ball. Well, we don't have time to throw it.
Are you what type of offense are you guys running now? I'm looking to. Is it
Well, we're switching it up a little bit.
A little more spread, or
we're an I-back team with fullback. You don't see that a lot now, and we're still predominantly run team. Control the ball on offense. Don't try to go the no huddle like everyone else is doing spread, because you got to prepare a lot more for that than you do, because everyone's run that spread off. We're talking about the fads.
Yeah.
No huddle spread, empty back, whatever the case is, And it's harder to prep for a team when you have 8 other teams that are doing this empty. You're like, your defense you're going to call because then you got your calls for the spread, you got the calls for the empty.
Yeah.
Now you come with a team with a tight end fullback set. Now you got to plan.
Just way different. You're playing a power team from that the speed quick type.
We're predominantly run team, going to try to control the ball on offense. I'm trying to throw a couple of things in there this year. I don't want to say too much.
Yeah, you're good.
But defensively, we're aggressive, running the ball. We're going to get to the ball first, and we're going to get 11 hats to the ball, and hopefully cause turnovers, and and then just go from there. So, but hopefully, like I said, I hope this doesn't set us back too much. If there is a season that we have, but everyone else.
What do you think that? This is something that just came to my mind. What do you think that does to the recruits? The guys that were supposed to go to the next level, or maybe were even getting looked at as a top 100 or top whatever high school player.
Well, here's the other thing. Before we get to next season, what about the recruits that we're getting for spring sports? The baseball players, the swimmers.
Exactly.
The tennis players, the golfers. So it's like they're seniors and they don't get to have. Are we not going to be able to finish the year?
Are they not even going to?
So it's
play?
Like, yeah, exactly. So they put not all these other sports are putting in work too. Are they going to be able to play?
Yeah.
So it's like, if this drags on to the next year, then what's going to?
Because when does baseball start? It's April, right? Is it April?
They had a couple games already.
Really?
They already had a couple games.
And then it's shut down.
And it's
they're not.
And they're supposed to have a legit team this year. Our baseball team was supposed to be legit this year.
La Quinta won CIF a couple years back, right? Yeah. So their baseball is definitely getting there. That's my dad made that actually.
Nice.
When he was in high school, I think, man, it was.
Really?
I call him Jesus. I don't know.
It kind of looks like it.
Yeah, I go with Jesus. I don't really know.
Got the porn stash.
Hey, whatever.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know when he was in high school. What, maybe the 70s, 80s, early 80s.
That's pretty.
He's an artist.
I was gonna say that's some talent right there.
He's definitely an artist. He grew up. He had a scholarship to college for art, like a little scholarship, but he couldn't pay for all his art supplies, like to kind of keep up with it. Wow. So yeah, he definitely grew up an artist, and then he ends up being a correctional officer for 30 years.
Along the same lines.
Yeah, way different.
Is that what brought you out to Blythe? He was the CEO out there?
Yeah, both my parents were correctional officers out there. They both retired at 50 from out there. They both were there from 21.
Dang.
Yeah, 50 years, or 20 and a half, really. And then actually, when I was in Blythe, I wanted to play tackle football. My dad started the Pop Warner League out there in Blythe. He started the Blythe Hornets, which is the Pop Warner League. It's still going on, I think, but I told him I want to play tackle football, and he set it up. He started it up. And
back in the day when I was playing, it was the BFL, Blythe Football League.
Really?
So there's only 4 teams.
Really?
Yeah, so we were on the Longhorns. It's funny because you had 2 teams that were college names. You had 2 teams that were
like
professional names. So it was the Sooners and the Longhorns, and then it was the Raiders and the Broncos.
Really?
And we were all one league.
You're from Blythe?
Yeah.
You're from Blythe?
Yeah.
Dude. Oh my god, that's crazy. What did you go to elementary school and stuff out there?
Yeah, I went to Ruth Brown.
Really? I went to Margaret White.
Was that the new one or the old one?
I think it's the one right there on
behind that professional building.
I think so. I don't know. I don't remember.
Over catty corner to Todd Park? No, not Todd Park.
No.
Across from. It's not Todd Park.
I think so. I think
the big ass park with the.
It is Todd Park. I think
it is Todd Park.
Yeah.
And then you had catty corner.
A little bit is Margaret White.
Kitty corner, some people know it as.
Yeah.
Was that professional building, like medical? It actually said professional building on it.
Yeah, where there's like doctors and stuff at, right? Yeah,
like eye doctors, dentists, whatever. And then right behind that was the new Margaret White.
No wonder you'd say athletes come out of Blythe, dude. You're fucking one of them. You came out of fucking Blythe. How many athletes are out there though, for reals, man?
Back
Growing up out there,
I don't know about now, but back then it was like there was nothing else to do.
Just sports, huh? That was it.
Have video games. Well, you had the video games. You had like the Nintendo.
Yeah.
And then there was this.
Even when I was a kid, I remember
Sega Genesis.
Yeah, I even remember growing up. And they wouldn't even let us inside. They'd be like, dude, if you want some water, there's a hose right there. Keep your ass outside and play. Yeah, that was
exactly. You just gotta let the hot water run first.
And it's cool. It tastes good.
Whatever. It tastes a little rubbery every once in a while.
Exactly, man. That's so crazy.
That's how we're all immune to a whole bunch of stuff. We won't get the corona.
I'm not even worried.
Dude. We're good.
Yeah.
So, shout out to Blythe.
Shout out to Blythe, that little ass town, man. That's my hometown. It's got a piece of my heart for sure. Yeah. But, and I don't know, bro. People need to definitely scout over there.
So how many teams did they have in the Pop Warner?
Well, we just had the Blythe Hornets, but we had like
the Blythe Hornets?
Yeah, it's called.
Oh, so it was one team you had travel?
We would travel. We go to Kingman. We go to Lake Havasu. We would go everywhere, man. We go to
basketball tournaments in Kingman.
Parker.
Yep.
Yeah. But we made it to we were one game away from the Pop Warner Super Bowl. We're one game away from going to Florida. We played Los Alamitos in semis to go to the Super Bowl, and we got fucked up, but we made it.
Wow.
Yeah.
What teams did you have to go through?
We had to go through. This way? We had to travel out. We played Parker. We were both undefeated, so that was like our first game. We were both like 10-0. Played them. We beat them like 13-7, and then we played Yuma, and we beat Yuma like 21-13 or something like that. And then we played and then it was Los Alamitos, and then the Pop Warner Super Bowl. It was like I think it was like 2 weeks. I think you played like 2 games or something in that like Super Bowl for you. Wow. Yeah, and we played Los Alamitos, and they're a good team. We lost like 40-13 or something like that. They were a squad.
Damn. I didn't know I thought it was just a regular like the 4 teams they had. And
yeah,
when I played, Blythe is so small, so you only had a couple players on each team.
Yeah.
You had a couple other ones too. So I didn't know they actually did that. Yeah. Are they still doing that? Do you even know?
I don't know. I think they last time I checked,
they didn't have a regular tackle league then.
No.
When you were there.
Well, they had Pop Warner.
But just the one you were playing.
Yeah.
Not like playing the teams inside the city.
No, it was because it was like a 6-year-old. What is it, like junior pee-wee, midget? We had like all the leagues, so it was like.
Oh,
6-year-old team, an 8-year-old team, and we're all the Blythe Hornets.
But it was always traveling away.
Exactly.
So it wasn't. You had 3 or 4 teams
No, we were like playing against each other, like in Blythe. Yeah. And I feel like I don't know. I just don't even think we had enough people for that. Still, Blythe is just so small. I don't think we have enough for that.
Yeah.
For that. But yeah, man, that's kind of crazy. I didn't even realize you were from. I think you told me even in high school, and I totally just blanked it that you were from Blythe. Yeah. But did you go to high school out there for a little bit? Yeah.
Freshman year, I went to Palo Verde Valley High School. Yeah. I was a freshman. My brother was a senior. My dad had already moved out to Indio because he was a cop in Blythe for 20 years.
Really?
And then worked for the DA's office out there, and they shut that office down. So he transferred out to the Indio office, the big Indio building you see. Obviously, it's been torn down and rebuilt. But, so he ended up moving out here, and we stayed there for a while for my brother. So my brother would finish out his senior year.
He played sports too? No, he was...
So rather than have him move and do his senior year at Palm Desert or Indio, because La Quinta wasn't built yet.
Yeah.
So it was like, all right, let's have him finish the senior year. Me, my mom, my brother, and my sister stayed out there. And he finished the senior year, then ended up selling the house and moved in with my nana and tata, and just stayed there right up the street from the high school off Lufkin Boulevard. And once he finished school, we both finished school. We just packed up and moved out. Had to rent a house in Palm Desert Country Club for a couple months until the house was built, and then
you guys just
we stayed here.
Did you have any memorable experiences from growing up in Blythe?
Memorable?
Yeah, any infamous that you could say on the podcast? Nothing too crazy or what?
Nah, I mean, not really. I mean, I had friends that did some dumb stuff.
Yeah. I feel like Blythe isn't as crazy as people make it out to be. People kind of get all sketched out of Blythe.
There's always a lot of stuff going on, and I just knew, to be honest with you, I never did anything stupid because my dad was a cop.
You just
and
knew.
I was a small town.
Yeah,
I would get my ass beat. And if I did anything. So I did nothing.
I know.
I did nothing.
I know where you come from.
People don't believe me. I was like, I didn't have my first drink till I was 21. People still don't believe me.
Really? Even when you're going through high school, you're the quarterback that started quit with nothing, dude. You're like, nah, I'm cool. I'm good. I know this is gonna.
Once again, I knew to get back to my dad.
Yeah,
My dad whooped my
This is
ass.
gonna end up bad for me. Yeah.
There's a couple times I come home like, I'll tell you another story, but I would come home and my dad, I'd get into bed and my dad would wake up, he'd come in and he'd smell my breath.
Really?
And I was like, I'd back up, like, what are you doing? Like, I'm not even knowing anything? He's like, and then he'd just leave the room.
Really? So he was always checking. He was
checking me. I never even know if he checked my brother, my sister.
Yeah.
But it was always, I was just like, really? And then my senior year for prom, my dad told me, he goes, you better be home by 12, I think he said 12:15. And I go, and it was in Palm Springs. It was like whatever it was in Palm Springs. My dad said, you better be home by 12:15. I go, Dad, the dance doesn't end till 12. He goes, well, you better leave early then.
Really? Mr.
I had to leave the dance
Oh
early.
my God. He didn't even let you get a hotel room? He didn't even let you...
My dad let me get a hotel room?
Dude,
really?
come on, dude.
Dude, I'm honest to God, truth. And I would have to leave to go. I'd have to leave everything early.
Yep.
So I made it home.
You're like, I gotta get home. I don't got a choice.
I've been beaten too many times. I don't want to get my ass beat again.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Growing up with a cop dad. That's a...
And everyone knows.
Yeah.
Oh, I do have... Oh, no. I got a story, but it's not when I was living in Blythe. Because we went back to visit. I think it was my sophomore year. We ended up going back to Blythe and it's for Christmas. Because we always spent Christmas Eve at my Nana's house. When we lived there, it was Christmas Eve at my Nana's house. We had the tamales and everything.
Yeah.
Presents there. Exactly. And then we go back to our house after Christmas Eve when we lived in Blythe. And then in the morning, we do our family Christmas. Gotcha. And in the evening, all the family came to us. So it was kind of like 3 Christmases. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So my grandma would come from Newport Beach. She'd come with like a car full, sometimes a van full of toys. It was pretty awesome. So we went back. I'm pretty sure it was my sophomore year. And we're riding around in a car. It's me, my brother, Ozzy Guillen, my brother's friend. Him and my brother were the same age. And Mike Hudson. Mike was my age. So me and Mike Hudson are in the back seat. My brother's in the passenger and Ozzy's driving. And so all of a sudden I don't know who had the M80s, the firecrackers, the M80s.
They're loud.
Yeah. So we're driving around here like, oh, let's go set these off. And I'm like, all right, I'm in the back. What am I going to do? It's a 2-door car. I can't jump out. I mean, like, hey.
I'm with you guys.
I was like, all right, cool. We're in Blythe. So we go and we storm off into people's yards. So we go to Orlando's house, my buddy Orlando. And we pull up. It's a side alley next to the canal. And so we pull up. And Orlando's house. So here's the street. Here's Orlando's house. Here's a side alley. We pull up right next to it so they can't see it. They can't see where we are.
Uh-huh.
So we light the firecracker. I think it was Mike Hudson. Mike lit the firecracker. And he went to go throw it and it slipped out of his hand. And it landed underneath the car, the van of Orlando's dad and his mom and dad's car.
Uh-huh. And
so like, oh, go down again. And so all of a sudden, Ozzy takes off. So here's the car. Here's the house. He takes off and pulls it down the street. Guess who's in the front yard? His dad.
What?
His dad's in the front yard. So we just we didn't even know.
And it just exploded into the car?
No, it exploded into the car. So nothing happened to the car, whatever the case is. But he saw the car that Ozzy was driving, called the cops. So we go drive through the west side, or the Cuchillo is what they called it. So he threw off a couple more in there. The last one we threw.
I'll take a wild guess you guys get pulled over.
After we threw the last one and we're driving, we get pulled over.
No
so we're lucky we
way.
had already gotten rid of it. I'm in the back seat. I'm like, oh. So windows are rolled down. It's freezing in Blythe. You've been in Blythe when it's December.
Yeah. It's cold. Yeah.
And so finally we get pulled over. All the lights and everything. The lights are bright. And I'm in the back seat. All of a sudden he yells something. The cop opens the door and he yells something. No one can hear what he's saying. He's like, what? I was like, what are you saying? I don't know. All of a sudden I turn and look. He's like, put your hand, and he has his gun on the top, pointed at us because he recognized the car because Orlando's dad thought we had a gun that we shot. And it was an M80, so he has a gun pointed at us, and he says, if you don't, and they said it again, he goes, if you don't put your hands on the roof, I'm going to shoot. And so I heard that, I'm like, I'm not getting shot right now.
Yeah.
I was like, put your hands on the roof, put your hands on the roof, put your hands on the roof. So I put my hands up. And all of a sudden he walks up and everyone walks out one at a time. Don't take our hands off. We all get patted down. And Ozzy was a dick to the cop and goes, and then she's patting him down. I guess you got to pat him the inside. Yeah, pat him down. He's like, "You like what you feel?" Like, oh, bitch, dude. And you're like, really? You got to do this?
You really can't just let him.
You really can't just let him do his job right now.
Yeah.
Let him do his job. We're clean. We have nothing on us because we got rid of the evidence.
Yeah.
And I'm freaking out. It's cold. I'm shivering. My hands are on the hood or on the side of the car. He pats me down.
Oh,
and
man.
so this is all happening. So he starts questioning us after we got patted down, and all of a sudden you see a car drive by. And it's one of my parents' good friends. His name was Queedy. Dude. And I was like, oh, shit.
They obviously saw you.
And so she comes back around. And the funny thing is, though, my dad knew the cop. He worked with my dad. So it wasn't like he was giving us any, I was expecting a break. But it was like, all right, he's going to go tell my dad this. Queedy turns around and sees what's going on. She goes and she's like, what's going on? Blah, blah, blah. She gets out of her car. She's like, he knows Queedy.
Everybody knows everybody.
Everybody knows everybody. Yeah. I was like, we're done. We're dead. I was like, well, I don't even know what's going to happen. So finally he let us go, and Queedy's like, you guys better just go home. Just go home. And I told Ozzy, I was like, take me home. Take me to my Nana's house. I'm done.
Yeah.
No, come on, we're not done. Take me to my Nana's house. I'm done.
Dude,
I don't even know. I remember going home. I don't even know if my brother came in with me. I honestly do not remember. I just remember that whole event and this.
Your focus was like, I'm getting home.
I'm going home, and I'm going to get up tomorrow, and we're going to drive back all the way back to La Quinta so we can have Christmas. I was like, I'm not doing this.
I'm not missing Christmas.
I'm not missing Christmas, and I'm not getting shot by a cop and having Ozzy be a dick. But I guess that's my infamous story from Blythe. Even though I wasn't living there, I went back to go visit.
It was when you went to visit. Wow.
Yeah.
What a story. Man.
Yeah, good old Blythe.
Good old Blythe.
So
I've talked to a couple people from at work, like because I'm like a brand ambassador for Hydro Flask, so like I go to different stores, and I've talked to a couple people, and they're like, they freak out about Blythe, man. They're like, oh, one girl I was talking to, she was saying like, oh yeah, when we go, me and my boyfriend, we drive through there, he doesn't let me get out of the car. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, you guys, like, I don't know, just live normal life, bro. Don't act weird. If you're gonna act trippy and act all sketched out, then maybe, you know. But if you're just gonna act normal, nobody's gonna bother you.
No,
Let's be straight.
When you pull up and it's like you see a truck or a car that no one's ever seen before, you get like looks. But it's like, oh, who's that? I mean, I pull up in my truck and I'm pretty sure I never seen I've only been there a few times, but there's not a truck like mine in Blythe.
Yeah.
So I'm like, someone's like, oh, who's this? Who's that? I was like, all right, but I mean, it's just you just going by.
What was I gonna? Oh, I know what I was gonna ask you. Just because you mentioned it. Did you ever swim in the canal? You did? I've done it one time. Sounds
never
like
told
a
my parents
thing.
though, because they would freak out. They wouldn't even let me go to the river because the current and everything. Yeah, going to the canals, I went swam in the canals.
That's crazy, yeah.
But that's what you did.
I was just being
nothing
a
to
wild
do. Let's
kid.
go play sports. It's too hot. Go jump in the canal. It was like, it sucked because I'm tenderfoot, so I couldn't walk like on the gravel and everything. So I had to like crawl and then get in the water. And then when you get out, you don't have a towel. You're just trying to dry your feet off.
You know what you shouldn't do? Definitely is don't go swimming in the canal when you have a buddy fishing in the canal, bro. I had a buddy swimming, got caught, dude. Got the hook. Like, I don't even remember. It might have been in the leg or the arm. It wasn't really serious, but yeah, he got a hook in the arm from another buddy. Like, that's just being two idiots.
That's just Blythe?
Yeah, that's Blythe kids. Yeah, that's just being from Blythe. But yeah, bro, I don't know what would you say for the high school athletes coming up and the guys that want to play the next level? Because I think this is what we should wrap it up on. What would you tell them? Like, what should they focus on? What? Because I talked to Bobby actually just yesterday, a couple days ago, and he said he got his scholarship to college from Twitter. He was out there reaching out to coaches on Twitter, sending them his huddle highlight videos, and he finally won hit, and he got a scholarship. And what would you pass along? Obviously, the number one thing I would say for people is just do the work that everybody else doesn't want to do. Fucking work hard and put effort in, bro. Because especially high school kids, you're lazy. A lot of kids are fucking lazy as fuck. Me, as an example, just like plenty of athletes you've seen go through there that have potential. They're lazy as fuck. But what would you pass along, I guess, for guys trying to make it to the next level?
First and foremost, you don't give up the love of the game.
Yeah,
you started playing a sport because you loved playing it.
Yeah.
And you fell in love with it, and then all of a sudden, don't turn it into a business. Because when you make it to that next level, that's when it's going to be business. It's like it's 24/7 for everything. You go play football at a university. It's like it's 24/7 football, dude. There's no off season.
Yeah,
It's like
exactly.
you're at school, you're practicing, you're in film session, you're tutoring, you're flying wherever you need to fly. It's like
it's nonstop.
It's nonstop. It's a business. I mean, you're grinding. So first and foremost, you can't give up that love. I mean, you play the game in the
especially
beginning.
in high school or whatever.
You played the game. You started playing the game because you fell in love with it.
Yeah.
And you can't give that up. Now, if you turn it into a business, there's been a couple people that was like they got looked at their junior year in high school. All of a sudden, it's like it's not fun anymore. It's like, oh, I got to do this. If I too much pressure on themselves. Mm-hmm. Remember, you fell in love with the game.
Yeah.
They put too much pressure on themselves, and then they can't perform. People that are getting looked at their junior year had a horrible senior season because it was too much. They put too much pressure on themselves.
Yeah.
They turned it into a business right away. It's like if I have to do this, I have to do that, or else I'm not going to get this scholarship. You're right, you didn't, because you put too much pressure on yourself. Put the work in the off season. Play loose, have fun, smile.
I think that's a big deal.
Play the game.
Play loose is a big deal.
You play the game because you fell in love with it. It's not because you want to. You didn't start playing at 6 years old because you're like, oh, I'm gonna make it professionally. You may have thought that eventually, but it's like you started playing because it was fun.
Yeah.
First time I ever caught a football. First football game I ever remember was the. I was telling someone the other day. First football game I ever remember was the Cincinnati Bengals and the 49ers in the Super Bowl. I remember Jerry Rice going off. My favorite number was 80 at the time. After that Super Bowl, I went outside, started catching the football. Fell in love with the game. Never thought I was going to make it pro. Never
it had nothing to do with that.
Nothing to do with it because I like the game.
Yeah.
But I mean, you just gotta don't turn it into a business right now, because it will turn into a business when you get to the next level.
Yeah.
And it's just, but then at the same time, you gotta secondly, grades. You know, people haven't made it to the next level because of grades.
And grades, how hard is high school? Let's be honest.
Grades.
You're like, I don't even need to say anything. Grades.
I won't mention any names.
I think we both know a few people. You probably
know
100, if not more.
I know a lot that they could have made it to the next level, getting looked at, but could barely get a 2.0.
Yeah.
Because they didn't want to listen to anybody else. No, I'll be fine. Then you get these here's the other thing. You're going back to specialization. You got these coaches feeding these other kids BS. Oh, they don't look at your freshman, sophomore year grades. All they do is care about your junior, senior year. Not true. Not true at all. They want to look at every single year you had in high school.
Yeah, exactly.
So you gotta start taking care of business in the beginning. You know, you're going to school. Without school, you can't play football. Without school, you can't play any other sports.
And what helps on top of that is even, let's say you take care of your grades and you don't get that full ride sports scholarship, you'll get that academic scholarship and then maybe even a walk-on or something for a sports team. I don't know exactly how it goes.
There's schools that offer preferred walk-ons where you still got to pay your way. You still get the perks of getting registering for classes first. You get the tutors. You know, do you have to pay your tuition? Yeah. Do you get the free food? Sometimes. But it's just not... But that's also the other thing that people get caught up in is like, I have to go D1.
Definitely not. You
definitely
don't have to.
You don't have to.
Yeah.
Go to a school that wants you.
Yep.
Go to a school that's going to have your major that you want. Don't just go to San Diego State University and they're not even going to have a major that you want to get into.
Plan for your future.
Yeah, plan for your... I tell Brody, my oldest, I was like, he talks about he wants to play professional football. I was like, okay, that's good. I go, but your mind's going to get you a lot farther in life than your body is.
That football's going to end very quick.
That football guides you. If that's the way you're going to go, if they're going to get a scholarship, use football to get you in the path where you want to go. So there we go. So don't fall out of love with the game. Grades. And then if you got those two things, you got to work your butt off.
Yeah.
You have to have an off season. You can't just let talent take over. Because there's people I know a lot of people that just had the talent, but they didn't have the work ethic. Now, people, if you have that talent and you combine that work ethic, sky's the limit.
Yeah.
Take care of the first two, the third one, sky's the limit.
Exactly.
Y'all have fun.
I see a lot of people that in high school, I'm not gonna name names, but I didn't think they were much. I didn't think they were that athletic. I didn't think they were that good, and I see those guys playing minor league ball, playing, and it's because they put in the work.
Yeah.
You know, they put in the effort, and they continued to work at it, and they probably, like you said, like they didn't lose the love for the game. They continued to enjoy getting better at whatever sport they were in.
And play multiple sports though too.
Yeah, well, you know, some coaches back in the day didn't really like that. They kind of looked down upon that.
But that gets you ready for I mean, that whole cross training. If you play basketball or if you play football, then you go play basketball.
It helps you with everything.
Different.
Yeah.
Plus, you're competing every season. It's not like, oh, football's over. Let me just go get big for football. Okay. Then you have time. All you're doing is lifting or whatever. How are you competing? You're really not.
Yeah, exactly.
So go compete in another sport. Go do something that's going to So if you're a basketball player, if you're a football player, then you're playing basketball. That defensive slide drill, the hand-eye coordination, the quick twitch, we have to go close out on somebody.
Exactly.
Like that open. If you're a quarterback, if you're playing quarterback, you have to kind of know what's going on. You have to be able to read the defense, the safety, the corner. Where's this linebacker dropping?
Vision. You got to have vision too.
When you're playing basketball, you got to know what's going on with the four other guys.
Let's say you're a halfback and you got to make a juke. That vision comes in from the basketball. Yeah, exactly.
Use your peripherals.
Peripherals.
What was that? 40-Year-Old Virgin?
Oh my god, I haven't seen that movie in so long, dude.
So, but I mean, I think that, and everyone's like, someone brought up, Coach Flores brought it up. He was when he was a wrestling coach at La Quinta High School. He brought up the guys he had in coming for a camp from, I forgot where I don't even know their names. Forgot where they were from. But he's like, you know what? You want to play? You talk about playing multiple sports? Go play golf. And then I was like, what, golf? How's that going to make you? He goes, you talk about a mentally challenging game. Talk about making you mentally strong.
Piss you off, man.
You got to be mentally strong. Talk about being mentally strong. Go play golf.
Yeah.
You're not going to play any other sport. Go play golf. But you got to be mentally strong to be able to do that.
Exactly.
And if you can carry that over into whatever your primary sport is.
I've thrown a few golf clubs in my day, playing 18 holes. You know.
Once
you're not getting that nice hit after a couple holes, you're like, I'm done, dude.
Yeah. I've lost a lot of balls too.
Yeah,
and water in the desert.
It's kind of weird once you get near the water, the ball just kind of goes in the water. You don't really like. I remember one time I took my dad out. I was like, hey, let's go play some golf. You know, see how you like it. My dad was like getting older, so I was like, hey, we'll see if he likes it, dude. We got through the front 9, back 9. He's like, I'm good. I'm not playing no more. He didn't do it. He sat on the golf cart the rest of the time. He was like, nope, I'm not doing this. This is already pissing me off. I'm good.
Mentally challenging.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right.
You're trying to get this little fucking ball in this little cup that's, what is it, 200 yards, 300 yards away, 400 yards away. But yeah. I think those are definitely good pointers. That's it, man. Yeah, so I think this is the way we should wrap it up. It's the end of the 18th episode of the 100 podcast. I got my boy Gleeson here. I'm hoping I'll get him in another time.
For sure, I had fun.
Yeah.
It was nice.
He answered the rumors, dude. He's the first varsity quarterback at La Quinta, and he did throw a no-hitter. So, all you guys wondering, especially all you past athletes from La Quinta, it's been a rumor for years, man.
Keep it a secret, though.
Keep it a secret.
I don't like sharing. It's not about...
Only keep it on the podcast.
Yeah, it's not about the past, about the future.
18th episode. Thank you, guys. We're done, dude. We're out of here.
That was fun, man.